Hey everyone, welcome back to Jack Films Podcast. Sorry, this has been a few months later. We were going to have this sooner, but stuff in the Price household gets in the way. I am joined once again by my father, Dad Price.
Dad Price. Hello,
Paul
everybody.
Price. I was meant to say Paul.
Hey, Dad Price.
I don't know why that came out of my mouth. Like we keep saying with every episode, we're improving. We keep making mistakes.
Yeah, we do. It's how we learn.
Exactly. We have quite a bit to talk about today. Some the typical thing, the Marvel, the DC, and some other random stuff with Disney and Nickelodeon stuff. And then we have a bunch of reviews to get to because that's what happens when we never record a podcast. We fill it with lots of reviews. So let's get to the trailers, Dad, and we're going to talk about the Marvels. Now, we did watch the Journey to the Marvels, the trailer that came out around 2 months ago. We would have done it sooner, but we didn't record one 2 months ago. And we also did watch the official clip. So, Dad, what are your thoughts on... We'll talk about the trailer first.
I think it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see it. I don't know where it fits in, but I'm sure I'll catch up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that sort of thing a little later. But I think that there is, like, something about the, like, this movie, I think that this movie, I bet, is not going to make a ton of money at the box office because people are like, oh, it's a bloody female-led movie and bloody Brie Larson sucks as Captain Marvel and the last Captain Marvel wasn't so good. And
what's wrong with... well, nothing wrong with Brie Larson. Nothing wrong with the other two either, I don't think.
No, exactly.
I'm not sure about... I haven't seen the first one. Have you seen the first one?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I don't think I saw it. Did I? You may have, but I don't think I did.
It was before we saw Endgame.
Oh, yeah, no, I did see that, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was where they crashed into the desert or something, wasn't it?
Well, she crashed into the bloody blockbuster and then she met Phil Coulson and Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's...
Because they DH Sam Jackson in it.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have seen that. I've seen so many of them, Jack, I can't keep up.
Yeah, well... that is something, so... But no, I think that there is something... Like, I think that this movie is not only going to be better, but I think that this movie... But this movie does tie into more the larger linear storyline because you have things like, obviously, like... things like... Miss Marvel... And you've never seen her in a film. You've only seen her in a TV series.
Which TV series?
Miss Marvel. The young chick.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that.
So I think, because that ties directly into this movie.
See, but even WandaVision ties into this.
Yeah, because the chick, I mean, obviously the older version of her, but, oh my god. Monica Rambeau is the young girl in Captain Marvel, and then the older actress gets introduced in WandaVision.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and that's how she ends up getting sucked into the hex and getting her powers.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I think because you have those, you're already having connective tissue throughout Phase 4 into 5. So I think that because you have that, I think that's what will get people more interested in this sort of thing, is that if you have that connectivity throughout, because so far they haven't really been connecting too much. Like, they have had Kang in Loki, and then you have Kane in...
Is this
Ant-Man.
Kane as in the Kane Dynasty? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Kane Dynasty. So Kane the Conqueror is going to be our main villain for that. I guess we haven't talked about this, but I guess I can mention it. That so this is still tying into Marvel, but I forgot to add a topic about it, so we can talk about it now. But so there's lots of issues going on with Marvel right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually going to quickly pull up the Variety article because they have mentioned some stuff because they recently talked about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in a bit of trouble. So I think that
Trouble? What type of trouble?
so people are like, oh, they've been putting out too many projects a year and they've been introducing too many characters at once. It's like in 2020, 2021, you had like White Vision and you had Shang-Chi, the Eternals. You had, what else do we have? We had like What If.
Yeah.
We had, and then in 2022, we had a new Black Panther. We had new character. We had America Chavez in Doctor Strange. We had the kids in WandaVision. We had like all these different characters that we got introduced to. Even the older version of Cassie, we got introduced to this year in Quantumania. So the fact that they're introducing so many, and they're kind of, because of the strike and COVID, they're kind of rethinking the plan and going like, we might need to switch our direction from Kang.
Why is that?
Well, because, so, one of the things that they have talked about is Jonathan Majors. He got, I know, he's in court for something.
Which one's Jonathan Majors?
Jonathan Majors is the...
He plays Kane, does he?
He plays Kang, but he's also in Creed 3. He's the villain in Creed 3. He got into some sort of legal trouble recently of some... I think it was like some sort of sexual assault or harassment or something.
So Marvel have dumped him, have they?
Well, we don't know because he is... Now, I can talk about this now because I've only seen the first episode, but we already know by the end credit scene of Quantumania that he's in season 2 of Loki.
Yeah, right, okay.
So,
as Kane?
Yeah, as his variants.
Yeah, okay.
So, because in the first season, if you remember, Loki and Sylvie went to the... But he split the timelines.
Yeah.
And they were in, oh my god, like the He Who Remains, like headquarters.
Yeah.
Which He Who Remains is more of a Shakespearean kind of take on Kane.
Yeah, okay.
Which, the one that we see in Ant-Man, the Wasp Quantumania, which you haven't seen, which you need to watch to kind of get the whole thing of
Which
Kane.
is sitting in the DVD rental shop up there in the front of the house.
Surprisingly not. It's sitting on Quantumania, though.
Right.
I mean, not Quantumania, Disney Plus. But no, it's... So, because you have that, and then also you get the whole thing of, like, Kang was defeated by ants.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation. But then you have his Victor Timely, which is another variant of his in Loki Season 2.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've seen the first episode, so we all know that this is what it's kind of setting up for Secret Wars. But there's legit a bit in the first episode, Loki Season 2, where he puts a bloody, like a torch kind of thing, and it burns the new, I guess, wall of the TVA. And it goes into this whole this huge, gigantic photo wall of Kang.
Yeah, right.
Which is like, this dude has wiped your memory so much that you guys have forgotten that there is time in the TVA.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, there's this whole thing of, like, they're setting up Kang as the big threat, but they want to switch him to Doctor Doom.
Oh.
They want Doctor Doom to be the big bad if they're not going to have Kang as the main villain of these other movies.
So, but the guy who's playing Kane, has he been dropped by Marvel because whatever he's in court
Well,
for,
we haven't really heard much about it. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, well, we we know that he's in Loki season 2, but we haven't really heard anything else beyond that of what Marvel's plan is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like they want to switch from Kane to Doctor Doom. They also want to do a new Avengers film with the original cast.
Yeah, yeah.
So they want to bring back Robert Downey Jr. They want to bring back Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Hemsworth, Ruffalo, Renner.
Yeah, right.
As for a new Avengers movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Because these people are kind of just gone like, these new characters that you introduce, you haven't done an Avengers film with them yet, but I think the thing is that they're trying to set it up until Kang Dynasty to do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also next year, we're going to get one of the, apparently the plot points in Captain America 4, New World Order, is going to be Sam Wilson's Captain America trying to make a new Avengers team.
Yeah, right.
So
And what movie is that in?
that's going to be next year in Captain America New World Order. So that is pretty much a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because if you remember at the end of that show, Falcon became Captain America and
Yeah,
became
yeah.
one of the first black Captain America.
Yeah.
And
And
then
will he do it? Who's that dude again? What's his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, is he going to still do it?
Yeah, he's still in it to play Falcon and Captain America, but I think the thing is that you would think that by that film, because they've recast General Ross, because that actor died,
Yeah, yeah.
so we finally get Harrison Ford in a good movie series. So we finally get to see him in a good movie series as opposed to one that Disney doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, so I think that there is potential next year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to push forward
Yeah, yeah.
with both Captain America 4 and Deadpool 3, because Deadpool 3 will introduce the mutants.
Yep.
And that will make Deadpool go into the MCU, and then that will eventually lead to, which this report, well, I guess rumor came out recently, that will eventually lead to Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire leading Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah, yeah, right, okay.
So they'll be the main two of Secret Wars.
Yep.
With like Andrew Garfield and all those other legacy characters, with like Chris Evans as Human Torch and Jessica Alba as Sue Storm and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think they're trying to just rethink of where they want to go, but it's also like you can't necessarily think, I guess, too far out of the box, because you still technically have a plan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You just need to try and figure out what movie would have to have like a plot twist that the real villain isn't Kang, it's Doctor Doom.
Yeah, right, okay.
So I think that's what they would have to try and do, because if you try and course correct the whole thing, then you have like what they've been doing at the moment, where it's like they're good movies and shows, but no one, except for the person like me or some other people that like them, for the most part, they're not really going to care.
No, not at all.
So I think that they're in a bit of a shambles right now at the moment. So I think, but to switch back to the Marvels, I think that's where we'll have this film kind of connecting the first Captain Marvel, Endgame, WandaVision, and Miss Marvel that are part of Phase 3 and 4 connecting in Phase 5.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And then I think, since we talked about the trailer a decent bit, we might as well talk about the official clip.
Yep.
Now, the clip, I saw 2 clips originally. I saw that one, and I saw one where it was Miss Marvel. I think it was the family talking to Miss Marvel, saying that Captain Marvel was just in our room, and then you appeared, and it's like, sorry, Captain Marvel was in our house. And it's like, so I think by those clips, I'm interested to see like what the MacGuffin is for the body switching.
Yeah. Because they tend to, once they get their powers, they go into one of the others, don't
Yeah,
they?
because it's never been mentioned until this point. Because, like, the fact that, like, it never happened when Micah got her powers in WandaVision.
Yeah.
But even though that movie did set up for this, because at the end of that, she did meet the Skrull in the movie theater. And I was like, I'm here from a friend of your mother's. It's like, oh, well, where does he want me? And then she points up to the sky.
Oh, okay.
Saying Fury wants you.
That's right, Fury, yeah.
So, I think that because you have that, and then you also have the whole thing of Miss Marvel, I think that there's something there that we're not seeing with the reason of the body switching.
Yeah.
Because even though that, so far we know that it's at the exact same time that they use their powers, they switch.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's why we see the moment that, like, Captain Marvel goes to punch someone with her powers, and Miss Marvel goes to use her powers. She switches to the space station with Fury, and then you have the whole thing of that, like, I want to say 15-second bit of her and Fury fighting, because that whole bit where she's sliding across the floor and punching and kicking them, the other two are not using their powers, so they can't be body switching at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we don't really know the MacGuffin of it. We don't know if the villain has something to do with that, because the fact that they did mention that it's Tom Hiddleston's wife playing the main villain.
Yeah.
So we do know that, but beyond that, we don't really know.
But they're trolls, aren't they?
Skrulls.
Scrolls, sorry, not trolls.
Yeah.
That was after that movie you showed me today.
Yeah.
Just keep talking.
Yeah. But I think that there is something that, but with the disconnect and disconnect of those women using their powers, and the villain has something to do with that, because we don't really know, well, so far, of what the villain's plan is.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because even by all three trailers,
yeah, you don't know much about it, really.
you don't really know much about the villain. Like, you know that the villain's after Captain Marvel, but that's really all you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that that's something that we would have to just kind of figure out while we go see it.
Yep.
Because I think it will be interesting to see how it all connects. And I think before we see it, we will try and watch Miss Marvel.
Yeah, for sure.
And even the first Captain Marvel, just so then there's a bit of lineage.
Yeah.
And we kind of understand
where it all fits in with each other.
Yeah, which, even though that it would be nice to do WandaVision, there's really no point of doing WandaVision.
No, I sort of understand where it fits in with WandaVision, but I don't understand.
Because that one at least ties with a person, and
Yeah.
that person had significant role in the plot of WandaVision.
Yeah.
Which, all you really know, I mean, we don't really know how the movie's going to play with the whole relationships between those characters.
Yeah.
But we do know that Miss Marvel is a fan of things like the Avengers and is a big Captain Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, you don't really know the relationship between those three.
No, you don't.
Even by the trailers.
Yeah, true.
So, I'm excited to see it. That comes out this month, actually, the 9th.
Okay.
So,
that's Friday. Friday?
Well, we won't be here on Friday.
No, we won't be. I think it's Friday. Just let me have a look.
Well, I mean, I have the calendar here.
I think
No,
it's Friday.
Thursday.
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 We'll be here Thursday.
We're here Thursday, but you wouldn't necessarily bang out Miss Marvel.
No, possibly not.
Because, I mean, I don't have a login for my computer for Disney Plus, but that would be like, I think, even though that's 6 episodes that you could maybe watch 3 episodes a night, they're almost like, they do a weird thing on Disney Plus where it's almost feature-length episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll be watching basically almost 3 movies.
Yeah.
On one night. So,
well, yeah, no, we can't do that.
yeah.
I might be able, while I'm away, watch the first
few episodes.
Well, I could do the episodes. What's the movie? The first one?
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, well, we can do that.
I'm away tomorrow night, so I could probably do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think even. I mean, we can see it on Thursday. I can't see why we wouldn't. Just had to make sure that we don't go to a late showing. Because when we go to crap like Mario and stuff, that was a fucking. Oh,
Yeah,
oops,
well,
sorry, but a bloody 9 showing.
That was a great show. I fell asleep in it. Anyway, we're not talking about that today.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, goodbye.
But no, I'm excited to see the Marvels. I'm curious to see where it ties in. So, our next MCU project, Dad, is Echo. Now, when you
What is Echo?
so, I
Is
don't
that
know.
the name of the chick or what? Or what? What's Echo?
Didn't bloody Kingpin say something like Vanessa or something?
Yeah, I think so. But
As oh, no, I don't want that. Echo.
what did I do then?
Disney Plus. So Maya is the name of the chick that plays her. No, Maya is the character's name.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't know where Echo comes from though. Unless that's like a... Because the actress is deaf.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So... Because
Dunno.
I think everyone
have to wait and
else...
see with that one.
Hey?
We'll have to wait and see.
Well, exactly.
I don't know where the name comes from, but yeah.
No, but I mean, when they announced it, I was like, really? What the hell? But when I saw the trial and I saw the whole thing with Kingpin and then even seeing that one, like, blink and you'll miss it, show of Daredevil,
Yeah.
gets me excited.
Daredevil.
I mean, he's a really good lawyer.
Yeah, I like D'Onofrio though. I think he's a good actor. That dude.
Yeah. So I think we might need to prepare ourselves with the Netflix show of Daredevil.
Yep.
Because I think,
Is it still around? Is it?
yeah, well, they got it off Netflix and then put it onto Disney Plus as just Marvel Daredevil.
I have seen some of them.
Yeah, because I think they put all the Defenders saga on there.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Because they put all 3 seasons of Daredevil, then they put Punisher on there as well, and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Defenders.
Yeah, okay.
So all those shows are on there. But I think we don't know if it's a continuation of the Netflix ones or it's the same.
So this is another show. This isn't a movie.
It's a show, yeah, but it's coming out on both Hulu and Disney Plus, as opposed to just Disney Plus, because it's TVMA, which is their equivalent to an R rating.
No, right.
So, yeah, and it's dropping all at once as opposed to the week by week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
on both Disney and Hulu. Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if... I mean, I don't know if it's because people think that it's not a good show that they're dropping it all at once, or it's just because they're trying to figure out the different way to go about it.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's something in there that has made them go, like, let's just drop it all at once.
Oh, okay.
So, but we'll wait and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so... Next one, Dad, jumping over to the DC side of things, we have the first, I guess, Elseworlds DC movie, and there's Aquaman the Lost Kingdom. So, I am nervous about this movie because it looks good. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first Aquaman, but also am nervous because I've heard that they've done different screen tests with... very much like The Flash, where it's like they showed one version of the film that was Michael Keaton and Supergirl at the end, One was George Clooney, and then the other one was no one. And there was also a Patterson version. So apparently there's different screen tests they're doing screen tests with both Michael Keaton's Batman in the movie and Ben Affleck's Batman in the movie.
Yeah, right.
So not in the same cut, but like kind of like going like this location can get the Keaton cut, this location can have the Affleck cut. So I don't know if, honestly, by this point, I don't even know if Batman's going to be in it at all.
Yeah, okay. In Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because the first one, there were like, I mean, it does connect to Justice League, but there was like no...
Yeah, well, this guy's part of Justice League, isn't he?
Exactly. So there was really no, like, I guess, new scenes of like things like Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman stuff. That's why I was excited. That's why I really loved The Flash, because it felt like a connected universe. Even though it was a Flash movie, you were seeing Affleck's Batman and Gal's Wonder Woman, and even that...
Yeah, that's right.
Even that CG shot of Cavill's Superman near the volcano.
Yeah, yeah.
It felt like a connected universe where it's like, it's the Flash's movie, but you're seeing scenes...
But how does a connected universe
Everyone.
when you got Nick Cage as Superman?
So,
That's never happened.
yeah, but you could say the same thing about Multiverse of Madness. Like, you've never seen John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
Yeah, that's true too, I suppose.
And you never seen, there was also, well, I guess that's the main one in Multiverse of Madness, because the other ones you can kind of see where it's like you had like Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel in Multiverse of Madness, and you already got introduced to Peggy Carter as Captain Carter in What If.
Yep.
And even then it was a different version of Professor X, but John Krasinski was really the only one that we haven't seen a movie before.
Yeah, right, okay.
So I think that was just their way of showing the different multiverse movies of DC, of things that have happened and didn't happen.
Yep. The
But that's why I liked The Flash, was because felt like it was connecting with seeing Aquaman and Wonder Woman, Batman and Superman in different scenes.
Yeah.
In The Flash, as opposed to the other ones where it's just like, this is one movie of just one hero with no scenes of no one else.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I think that's why you kind of go like, that's why I'm kind of nervous about this one, is that it's like, we're either getting Keane or Affleck or no Batman at all.
Oh, I have to wait and see, I suppose.
Exactly. I mean, I just hope that's better than the first Aquaman, to be
Well, it
honest.
wasn't any good.
I mean, I liked it, but it was also one of those things where it's like, because people tell you that it's one of the best DC movies, you're just like, okay, I mean, I'll watch it. Now, when I watched it, I was like, I mean, it's 2 stars out. It's 2 out of 5 stars for me. Like,
Yeah, okay.
because Luke was like, oh my god, it's a 4. Like, it's one of the greatest like DC movies I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, right. Bloody dude that swims underwater and bloody kills fishmen. It's like, yeah, that's the fucking best movie you've ever seen, dickhead.
Fish baddies.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's the
Bad
bloody best
fish.
movie you've
Yeah.
ever seen. And plus you have Amber Turd in it. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Moving on
Yep.
to the Wonka.
Yes, Wonka. Now, we did the first trailer, not last episode?
Yeah, I think it might have been. It's been
Yeah.
a while since we did the other episode.
Yeah, so I think this movie, surprisingly, for a prequel to the original, looks really, really good.
Yeah.
And not just the CG and stuff, but also, like, I haven't really seen Timothy Chalamet in a lot of stuff, but I also don't want to say that I'm not a Timothy Chalamet fan, because, like, he's not the greatest actor in the world, but he's one of the better young actors. I want to say, because he's in things like Interstellar for a few seconds.
Yeah, right, okay.
He's in Dune.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, actually, is Dune coming out yet? No.
No, not
Wasn't
the second
it caught
part.
up in the actors' strike or something, or the writers' strike?
I think the second part got pushed to next year.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, he's in Dune, and then he's in some other stuff, and people want him to be Harry Osborn in Tom Holland's second trilogy.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So they want him to be the James Franco character.
Yeah.
Which I can see, but I don't think that would be the greatest casting for Harry Osborn.
No.
But no, I think that this movie looks really good, and I think that there's something about that we're seeing new from what we've seen in either the original or even the Tim Burton one. Thoughts, Dad?
Yeah. Oh, look, I think it's going to be a good movie. I mean, I do like the little Hugh Grant as Willy Wonka, as the Oompa Loompa.
Oh, was that Hugh Grant?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Hugh Grant,
For some reason, I thought it was Paul Bettany.
No.
I don't know why I thought it was Paul Bettany.
But yeah, no, I think it'll be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think that
So you don't like the first one, do you?
the original
Gene
one,
Wilder
I couldn't get
Yeah.
into the original one.
Yeah, whereas you liked what was his name?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
You see-
it was a bit darker.
You see, for some reason, I'm a big Burton fan.
Yeah.
Him,
Burton did that, did he?
yeah.
Yeah, right. He didn't do this one.
No.
obviously.
This is from the director, which
Of Paddington.
yeah,
Yeah.
which you should see. That movie is actually really good.
Have you seen that? Have you?
Yeah, I've seen
You've
it
got
on
it in the video shop. Have you?
I do have both of those. Yes. Thanks for saying that out loud on broadcast. Idiots. But no, I think that there is something about Burton and Sam Raimi that when you watch a movie, you can tell that that's their style coming out of it.
Yeah.
Whether if it's Batman or Spider-Man or Multiverse of Madness or Edward Scissorhands or something.
Yeah.
So, I think that there's something about Burton's direction that I like that people just kind of shit on.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because, like, people would go like, oh, the first Batman's pretty good, but Batman Returns, oh, that one sucks.
And why do they say that?
Because it's too Burton for them.
But Burton did the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, but, like, so people say this in a way that it's like the first one is 80% Batman, 40-50% Burton. The second one is about 80% Batman,
And 20%.
20-30% Batman.
Yeah, right.
So it's like one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if it's because I'm a Burn fan or what, or I just think that there's something about the second one that I like more than the first one, because Burn's filmmaking is very unique.
Yeah.
And which, when you look at someone like John Watts, you can go like, anyone can make this.
All right.
No, but like, what's unique about a John Watts movie?
Well, who's John Watts?
He
Who's
did.
he when he's at home?
Well, exactly. See, no one even knows who it is. But like, the dude that did Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. You look at those movies and it's like,
Oh, he directed them.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, there's probably like things in there that he probably thought would be a good idea to do in those, and he just had a good script writing team to work with. But if you had the same script writing team and the same director, they would probably come up with the same ideas.
Yeah.
Which Burn and Sam Raimi, they come up with their own visions and they work with the writers.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that's why I kind of get more towards the Burton style with the Johnny Depp one more.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's just because I just like Burton and that movie kind of more than the original one.
Yeah.
But no, so let's go on to the news, Dad. Let's talk about Secret Wars. The Marvel Cinematic Universe
Is that Tom Cruise?
yes.
Is that a Fair thing? Or did you make that?
It's a fan thing.
Did you make it?
Yeah.
So are you hoping for Tom Cruise or?
Well, no. So basically, the Marvel wants to reboot the MCU after Secret Wars. So they want to bring back all the people that are dead back to life, whether if it's Robert Downey Jr. back or Tom Cruise back, or they want to have a new casting for T'Challa. They want to have someone play Captain America. They also want to, basically bring back those people, but also eventually have the Sony films like Venom, Morbius, Craven, Madam Web. They want to have those connected.
Yeah, right, okay.
So now every Marvel movie possible you can think of is connected in some way.
Yeah, okay. Great.
So
means we've got to watch it a whole lot just to work out where we are.
exactly. Unfortunately, for those people that were hoping that they want to hear us talk about X2 and Fantastic Four, sorry, that's not on this episode. We don't. We totally forgot to do that.
What's X2?
X-Men 2, X-Men United.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that'll be for next episode. I promise that is continuing, but also it doesn't help that Deadpool 3 got pushed back. So yeah, and so I think that there's merit to that, where it's like then you'll actually have people that actually give a crap about the MCU now.
Yep.
And also they can correct the mistakes that they've done recently. So we haven't seen all of it, but for what didn't work with Secret Invasion, they can now do Avengers Secret Invasion.
Yeah, right.
And not just Nick Fury going around and solving this mystery.
Well, so yeah, right.
So now they can have an Avengers level Secret Invasion and not just like Nick Fury solving it with Talos.
Did we ever finish watching that? We didn't, did we?
I think we got 2 episodes in.
Yeah, because, you're so committed.
Yeah, but wasn't that all? Were we just getting bored?
Time.
It might have been that, but also the episodes were long as hell. And what really happened in that's like...
Yeah, I don't know. Might have to revisit it again one day.
It's also like... The thing that mainly gets you is that, like, Buddy Rhodey's a Skrull.
Yeah, he is.
It's like, apparently he's been a Skrull since Civil War.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, but since Civil War?
Yeah.
That means that he was a Skrull in Infinity War and Endgame.
You're talking about Rhodey. Don't know.
Which that doesn't make sense.
No.
Which apparently at the end they show him in a hospital gown, the same hospital gown that he was in Civil War. Which that doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's more confusing than the other shows and movies that they've put out recently.
Yeah, there's lots that's confusing.
The other stuff I can easily connect. Like Thor Love and Thunder I can easily see people making sense. The only reason why people don't like that is because of the comedy. But even though I think the comedy works, but Secret Invasion, I think that there's something that's just like... There's questions.
So this Secret Invasion and Secret Wars, are they linked in any...
So, Secret Wars is basically where... So, this is where Deadpool 3 will come into play. So, Deadpool 3, the TVA is going to be the villain of Deadpool 3.
Yep.
Which is in Loki Season 2, which is what Loki's working with. Is like Owen Wilson and those people.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, those people are going to be in Deadpool 3, and they're going to be taking... Apparently, what they're going to be doing is looking at all the multiverses and looking at the best heroes that they have from each universe and putting them into this world called Battle World, which Battle World in the comics is where all the Avengers and stuff fight to eventually kill all the bad version. Well, not the bad versions, but whoever is alive remaining from that battle are the new heroes.
Yeah, right, okay.
So I think they're going to be taking people like the original X-Men and the original Fantastic Four and Nick Cage's Ghost Rider and Ben Affleck's Daredevil and putting them into Battleworld. And then in Secret Wars, we realize that there's more variants of these heroes out there, and then they're going to be pretty much the stars of that movie, and then they're going to be in, well, then those versions that we care about are mainly going to be killed off, and then whoever's the new X-Men and the new Fantastic Four are going to be in the new MCU reboot.
Yeah, okay. So what's this Spider-Man Spider-Verse thing you got up here?
So yeah, so that was just part of the image. When I got it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I think I just add the Secret Wars title.
Oh, okay.
But no, so I think that there's interesting stuff that they could do with that, but I don't know if that's the way to go.
Don't know. It's all getting a bit bloody convoluted for me.
But the crazy thing is I hear people all the time, mainly in our family, just going like, "Oh, well, watch these movies," but it's just like there's so many of them. It's like, well, I mean, the point is to connect them all.
Well, yeah, it is.
But it's like I think that because now going back to the Marvel, so we can talk about this because this kind of connects to it. Apparently, they're editing it in a way that seems it less complicated to make it more of a simple storyline.
Yeah, right.
For people that go to the theater and don't watch the Disney Plus shows.
Okay.
Because because so far you have two people in that movie that are connected to the TV shows.
Who?
Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah.
And Monica.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're chopping that out and it's meant to be connected, I don't know how it's going to be meant for us who watch those shows and those movies and go like, this is very simple for what we're watching all this stuff with no epic payoff.
Yeah. Maybe they're at their end, mate. Maybe there's no more to be done in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I mean, no until
Hence why we've got to redo it.
no until Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Next thing, back to more MCU.
Hold on. Why didn't that work? There we go.
Yeah, there. So apparently, Taika Waititi will not be back to direct Thor 5.
Well, we already knew that, though, didn't we?
Well, I mean, I guess from the hate, so much hate that Thor Love and Thunder got kind of
Jane?
Yeah, Jane. I still love that movie. Jeez, that is so hilarious. But no, I think that because of how Thor Love and Thunder was, they didn't want Taika Waititi back. But it's also like but also if you didn't want Taika back, then because people love Thor Ragnarok, but people crap on Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same body comedy for the most part.
Yeah, it is, I suppose. But are they meant to be comedies?
I mean, they don't need to be comedies, but I think that because you have Taika who comes from comedy background,
Yeah.
like Jojo Rabbit, Hunt from the Wilder People.
Oh, he did Hunt from the Wilder People, did he?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
And he's even in that, oh my god, why did he doing that? Oh, he was the bloody priest when the mother died.
Oh, was he the priest, was he?
Yeah, he was the priest in that.
Yeah, right.
So, he comes from a comedy background.
Yeah.
So, you can't necessarily go like, oh my god, this movie sucks because, like, this dude doesn't understand seriousness. It's like, he comes from comedies.
Yeah.
Like, you guys wanted this change from Thor, you got it. And now because you want more, you now turn on him because he did Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
It's bloody weird.
Yeah. I mean, Love and Thunder, I thought it was a good movie, but there was I don't know, it was a bit odd to me, like the goats. That was a bit weird.
Oh, yeah, which is weird because that's one thing that people think that is kind of hilarious.
However, that's all part of the comic, isn't it? Those guys.
Well, it's part of the comics. It's part of Norse mythology. It's
Yeah.
like they take all of the Thor mythos in the Thor movies, whether if it's the comics, if it's Norse mythology and stuff like that. There's a whole joke when they're about to go off in the boat with the goats to save the kids.
Yep.
Where he's like, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go save kids or whatever when he's doing that speech.
Yep.
And then there's one bit of that speech where he's like, he talks about and we'll definitely not be eating children or something like that because in Norse mythology, Thor eats children.
Yeah, right.
So they threw that joke in there because the Thor in the Norse mythology eats children.
Yeah, right. That's a bit weird.
So there's a lot of weird stuff that they do in those movies because they need to be both respectful to the Norse mythology and also the Marvel version of Thor.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you end up getting weird stuff because you need to kind of do both and make it fit into the MCU.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like maybe we need to revisit Love and Thunder and talk about it on here because I don't understand the hate that it gets
No, either do I.
at all.
No.
So but no. So next thing, MCU again. So Daredevil Born Again is getting completely redone.
Yeah, right.
Ugh. So we kind of seen this coming. So the original writers worked on things like CW shows like Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends, and stuff like that. But now they got the writers, if I'm not mistaken, they got the writer to do. Yeah, I think it was the writer from Logan to rewrite it,
Oh, okay.
which is a movie that you haven't seen.
No.
Which the writing in that is really good, and I think that there's something for that's going to get on the mic, isn't it?
What's that? The rain? Oh, maybe. Just let me have a listen.
But sorry guys, just checking this thing. Can you hear anything?
Oh, you can a bit, but if you keep talking, you're fine.
Yeah, okay, right. Well, we can try and keep talking. But no, so I think because apparently the original plan was like Daredevil didn't show up in costume until the 4th episode.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that that's a good idea if they're actually redoing it. But also you get into the whole thing of like, you have the whole thing of you've need to completely redo it because this show is meant to be, like, I guess almost like a side story to Endgame.
Yeah, okay.
Where it's meant to be during the blip.
What, so this is
Yeah.
the new
Daredevil, yeah.
Daredevil? Yeah, right.
So, this is meant to be during the blip. So, I think that... So, you won't have really any other heroes if you... Because, like... I mean, to be fair, it was still with Netflix at this time.
Yeah.
But, also, it comes to the whole Eternal thing where it's like, well, where were they during the blip? Because... apparently the Eternals didn't get snapped away.
No.
So it's like, where the hell were they? They showed up, fought some space dogs, and then went away to rest while Thanos was conquering the universe, and then they came out of retirement or whatever to fight more space dogs.
Space dogs.
It's like, what the hell? What kind of a stupid superhero group are they?
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's like, I mean, it's not going to be as bad as something like that, but it's also like, you can't have Captain America or someone going like, oh, let's call up Daredevil. He's going to help us figure out this problem. So,
why not?
Well, you can't because they don't even mention Daredevil. And plus, now it was still with Netflix, but also there's not even like some sort of lazy attempt to put Daredevil into the final battle of Endgame.
No.
Because they didn't plan to have things like the Eternals and Daredevil
No.
in the MCU.
No.
So you need to try and figure out some way to...
So that's like they just send to have... Yeah, I don't know. It's all piecemeal to me. Like, they didn't sit down at the start and think about it. They've just sort of...
I think it was main... But the thing is, too, you got to remember, too, that the reason why you have Fox and Sony and that sort of stuff having Marvel properties...
Well, this is half of the problem, is that it lands with 3 different companies.
Because the... So DC was having a riot from... Jeez. Late 70s to the 90s?
With who?
DC.
Oh, yeah.
With, like... Because they had, like, 4 Christopher Reeve Supermans. They had 4 Batman movies that were in one linear storyline.
Yep.
Like, yeah, sure, they had some faults with, like, Supergirl and stuff, but they were still on a high when it came to live-action movies and animation series with Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series. So, they were on a high, but Marvel, you would have, like, the occasional, like, Spider-Man 1970s TV series or Captain America 1990. Other than that, they didn't really have anything, so they would sell their characters out to different companies to make movies. So it's like,
righto.
20th century, you have X-Men, Daredevil, Elektra, because that comes with Daredevil, and then Sony, you can have things like Punisher, Spider-Man, and Ghost Rider. So that's the reason why we don't have Ghost Rider and Daredevil and X-Men and that sort of stuff in the MCU, because they were owned by different companies.
Yeah.
So, which apparently there were plans. There's even a deleted mid-credit scene from Iron Man 1 where it was basically that last mid-credit scene of Iron Man 1 where Nick Fury comes out to talk to Tony, but he's like, as if a sort of mutants, radioactive bug spiders weren't enough. So, he's talking about the Hugh Jackman X-Men and Halle Berry X-Men and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they didn't keep it in because they were owned by different companies and they didn't want to get sued.
That's right. That's
So,
the problem.
If you talk to the companies, like, and actually made these agreements earlier, then you probably could have gotten your Spider-Man and your X-Men.
Well, it depends on how much money they want to spend, mate. Because at the end of the day, if they're going to do that, they've got to pay.
But also,
Sony
they didn't have a
money.
cinematic universe at that point either.
No, exactly.
They weren't planning on a cinematic universe, even though that they had Iron Man and then 1 or 2 months later, Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, that was just kind of a what if, like, let's just add this, and then if it happens, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of like, that's where you kind of get the crazy thing of, like, this is why not the timeline, but the whole agreements thing for people that are in the movie space like us, that's why those news outlets and stuff kind of affect the rewatches of, like, Endgame and stuff, where it's like, well, where's Daredevil and this Spider-Man and stuff?
Yeah.
If this mid-credit scene was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious to see where it goes, because it is getting reworked and stuff. But I also think that he would be in his yellow and red suit, not his pure Netflix suit.
Yeah. True.
As opposed to that Echo trailer.
Yeah.
So next up, we kind of talked about this before, but it's nice to get confirmation that they are recasting all of the Justice League for the new DCEU. Which they were kind of...
But I thought, well, so when's all of that come out? Because they said that this was all going to happen after Flash, didn't they?
Yeah, so this is the thing too, and this is going to be the last topic. The thing is too, is that it's like, well, where, like, because Flash, okay, so Flash goes, like, does the whole bloody spaghetti thing that Michael Keaton says, where it's like,
Yeah.
the straight bits are the same, but the wiggly bits are all the bits that are
Crossover.
all
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
So, he makes the spaghetti effect, and why the spaghetti effects is, except for Ben Affleck's Batman, it's now George Clooney's Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
So because now, to be fair, James Gunn is in a spot where he can't talk bad about DC because now he runs it, but also he's trying to promote it. So while Flash was coming out, he was like, "Yeah, we're keeping the door open for Ezra Miller and Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa to come back, but Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, no."
Yeah, yeah.
Because Ben Affleck didn't want to do it anyway. He was out of it, I think, since the original cut, Justice League. But Warner Bros. Had just been treating Cavill like shit. So
Who has?
Warner Brothers. Where it's like, he hasn't shown, like, you did see Superman in, like, Shazam and Peacemaker. But that's back when they were like, we don't even know we want to keep Henry Cavill or change to a different actor. So it's like they have those, and then he finally comes back in Black Adam to go like, Black Adam, we need to talk. And then 2 months later, he's out the door.
Yeah.
Gone. So it's like, okay. Well, obviously you're keeping Gal Gadot, and then when the Gal Gadot thing came around, then that turned into the whole thing of like, oh yeah, no, Wonder Woman 3 is not happening, we're recasting Wonder Woman, and then Ezra Miller gets in trouble for, I mean, I can't remember even what the reason was, but he got arrested for something.
He's the guy that played Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got in trouble for something.
Yeah,
and
and
then,
it wasn't an assault. Didn't he assault someone?
Yeah, I think it was the assault thing. So, but I can't remember the details of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But the thing is too, is that like you have, then now you just have Jason Momoa. So it's like, well, what, you keep an Aquaman? And it's like, I mean, it's our next topic about their points for Jason Momoa. But the recasting, it's like, okay, now we have David Cornsweet, which we talked about last episode. Now we have David Cornsweet as Superman and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane.
Yep.
Fine. And because the way that Flash ended, you would have thought that they would be in that universe of David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan. Now you just have George Clooney as Batman and Ezra Miller as the Flash and Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yep.
Because that's the way, by the end credits scene, that's how it played out.
Yeah.
But no, that's not the case.
Right.
So technically they're breaking their own rules that they set up in that movie. Where every universe has...
They didn't do anything in the movies, Jack. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, but like... It's one of those weird things where it's like... So in The Flash you said, every other universe, it's different. Where... I mean, everyone else is different except for Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Yep.
Other than that, everyone else is different. But those two are the same consistently. But if you get rid of Gal Gadot and replace her with someone else, and then have Jason Momoa with someone else, then you don't... Like, that's even in the multiverse, not just in the DCEU. That's throughout the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
They even explain that in The Flash.
Yep.
So, it's like...
I've got nothing to say.
So, it's like... Again, I don't blame James Gunn for firing Cavill, because he was in the middle of... Because, like, he got hired in the middle of Black Adam. I mean, not hired in the middle of Black Adam, but hired while Black Adam was still in theaters.
Yeah.
And people were excited to see Cavill return as Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's also like... You could have easily just gone like... Alright, these are still in these new movies are still in continuation, but they have a better through line than these other movies, and gone like, we're completely resetting everything.
Yeah, but I suppose when you spend big money on getting James Gunn to come over, it's his creative license at the end of the day, isn't it?
I guess, but it's also like, if you're doing that, then why keep... Because so far, we know that they're keeping Jaime Reyes,
Who's that?
Boy Beetle.
Oh, yeah.
They're keeping the same actor. They're keeping bloody Viola Davis as Amanda Waller from Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
And they're keeping John Cena as Peacemaker.
Yep.
From the second Suicide Squad in this TV series. So if you're keeping those three, why not keep a few other actors?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. Look, it's they're taking a gamble, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're getting gun. They've got Gunn to come in and bloody trip it up a bit, and that's what he's going to do, and that's just the gamble they're going to take.
Which I didn't find them tripping it up, but it's just one of those things where it's like you could easily switch it up and not really change the castings.
Yeah. Well, but maybe some people, maybe Gunn doesn't like Cavill as Superman. Maybe he thinks he's no good at it.
Well, I think he said that he wants someone as a younger Superman.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I think that it's like, then why not have him return as like an older Superman in the future?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like have a Kingdom Come Superman, because they did that with Brendan Ralph in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
who knows how they think?
Well, exactly, because like I expected them to not keep Ben Affleck because he didn't want to be a part of that since Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Will Whedon!
It's Will Whedon. It's funny because I saw a clip of him recently hosting one of the Big Bang Theory panels for the Comic-Con. And it was like, well, what if we had the bare naked ladies come out? And of course, me being a complete dumbass, going like, so
they're a band, Jack.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, are you bringing naked ladies to come out to sing the theme song?
They're a band.
Yeah, I know, but like, when it's like we're going to bring them out so they can sing the theme song. So I'm like, all I think about is that bloody clip from it's the freaking Big Bang Theory where they're on, like you said, like they're auditioning for the next Professor Proton. It's just like, it's like, oh no, and that's the new Professor Proton. Is it Sheldon? No, exactly. Wheaton! It's Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Like that's all I think about now. But now let's get to the next one because we have not a lot more to go, but we need to get into reviews. So Jason Momoa, yes, he is apparently going to play Lobo in James Gunn's DCU.
Who's Lobo?
He's a Superman villain that's kind of like a vampire.
So is he still playing Aquaman?
Well, we just talked about last time how they're recasting the whole Justice League.
Yeah, but he's in the next Aquaman, but then he's not going to be Aquaman anymore.
No.
So it's going to be somebody else in Justice League as Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Don't you need some continuity of the same person?
Well, so apparently what James Gunn said was that the Flash is going to reset everything.
I don't know what drugs this bloke's on, but I don't know if it's the good ones.
Well, because we didn't, well, I guess, no, we did watch that clip of James Gunn, didn't we, of like what his slate was.
Yeah.
We watched that. So he said that because he talked about, because that was before Shazam 2 came out, if you remember. And he said Shazam was in his own kind of part of the DCU, so we don't necessarily need to worry about that. Flash is going to reset the whole timeline of what the difference is between the DCEU and the DCU.
Yeah.
And Boy Beetle is going to be the first Latino superhero that carries over onto the DCU. And then there's going to be Aquaman the Lost Kingdom. So I think, because if you remember, he mentioned Elseworlds with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker 2 and Robin Pattinson's The Batman Part 2.
Yeah, okay, yep.
So apparently that means that Aquaman the Lost Kingdom isn't Elseworld. So that means it's not necessarily like, because like it's not connected to the old DCU, because Flash left that universe behind, and every other universe has Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot playing
That's right. Yeah,
Aquaman and
yeah,
Wonder Woman.
They do, yeah.
So that means that this is one of the old movies that were in the old DCEU that is now in Elseworld.
Yep.
Because Blue Beetle is not necessarily a DCU film, but it's the first character introduced for the DCU. Which is still freaking confusing.
Just a bit.
But it's like, okay, you still want to kind of use him because you don't necessarily want to, like, introduce him and then, like, sweep him under the rug.
No. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing, mate. It's James Gunn. Yeah, it's a bit weird. So.
It's very weird. I don't know how much battery's on my... Looks like it's getting low, but it's not on red. So, should we just skip over the other two bits and just go to the reviews?
Oh, yeah, if you want.
Yeah, skip over the Disney Plus and the Disney Plus Steelbooks and the Thundermans thing.
The Thundermans, fair dinkum.
Yeah, well, they're making a movie, that's why. Okay, so, I'll quickly give my thoughts on Barbie. Now, me and Mum did see Barbie. We didn't do the Barbenheimer Dove feature, which I'm kind of sad about. But we did see Barbie, and we actually both really liked it. I think that it's very funny. Margot Robbie is amazing as Barbie, and Ryan Gosling is great as Ken. There is a lot of great comedy aspects to this movie that I really like. But I think that there were great things in Barbie that made a great movie for everyone, and I would love to see, I would actually like to see your thoughts on it, Dad, when I eventually get the movie.
Haven't you got it yet? Isn't it in the video shop?
No. No, it's not. We should do a DVD collection of my collection, just bloody...
A DVD collection of your collection, how does that work? Maybe a review of your collection is what you want to do.
But... No, so, because I think it's actually really good, and I actually do want the soundtrack for Christmas. The soundtrack is a banger.
Yeah, right.
I love that soundtrack. It's so good. But no, we're going to try and speedrun these because I'm nervous about the battery on my camera. So, let's go to the next one, Dad.
Oppenheimer.
Alright, so we saw Oppenheimer. I liked it more than I thought I would. It's in my top 5 of the year. But, so the thing is that it's like, I like Christopher Nolan. I love his work. I love the Dark Knight trilogy. People would say that the Dark Knight is the best comic book film ever made. I don't want to say that I strongly disagree, but I think that there are ones that I would put above it. Not much, but a decent amount. I think that there is a lot of things in Oppenheimer that make it a really great movie. The whole thing of Robert Downey Jr. is amazing. I love Colin Murphy as Oppenheimer. I thought he was great. So much better than he is in Batman Begins. And I was surprised that they didn't bring back oh my god, what's his name? Michael Caine, who was Alfred in the Dark Knight trilogy, because he's in pretty much every Christopher Nolan movie. But I was surprised by the cast, how it's like they had Matt Damon, they had Dane DeHaan, they had, who else did they have? Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, the whole movie was good. I thought it was a long movie.
Yeah,
but it was a good movie. It was it's got Howie to just with all of the physics behind how they could split the atom and how they made a bomb and they didn't go into how they wiped out Japan, but that's good.
No, and that's that's fine. I
So
guess
it's just all of the build up to how they actually came up with the bomb.
Yeah, and I think that, well, not that, but I think that is a little bit of the. I think that's the main issue I have with this movie, is that they. And again, it's the only complaint I have about this movie, because I think that the ending is really good. I think that some of the stuff after the bomb is really interesting, but I think that I was interested to the movie where it's like, this is like an interesting build-up, where it's like they get into the bomb and then they make the bomb.
Yep.
And then you have this, like, almost like realization of, like, when they drop the bomb. And you have that, like, almost like what? 10, 15 minute almost scene of just all them relief that that the bomb worked.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
But this guy, this Oppenheimer, he didn't want them to drop the bomb. Yeah, he invented it.
Yeah,
but
no.
He didn't want them to drop the bomb.
No, and I think
he know
that's...
that it was a lot of people were going to be wiped out by it.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing, because, like, I feel like, because the way that paid off, I feel like that's where you cut the movie.
Yeah.
Because that felt like we did it. We built the bomb, it worked, it did exactly what we wanted to do, because I don't think that you needed the whole thing of the post-bomb stuff.
No.
Because I think that's where you... Even though that the post-bomb stuff is great, I feel like that's where you could have gone, no, we don't need it. Because I felt like that we kind of knew what to expect with the whole post-bomb. Like, with the whole thing of Emily Blunt's character arguing with Oppenheimer about Florence Pugh's character.
Yeah.
We knew that wasn't going to go well, so we didn't really need that in there.
No, that's true. Oh, they just throw it in there to...
So it's like...
A bit of space.
Yeah, and it's like we also didn't really need the... Like, even though that the ending was good, I don't think that we need the whole thing of... Because I think that whole thing of RDJ talking to that other bloke of going like... Going up to Oppenheimer and basically going like, what did you say to him?
That was Einstein.
Yeah. So it's like...
Alfred.
Yes. So I thought that bit was good, but I don't think we need that end bit.
Yeah, but there was a lot of mind games there between...
Because I thought that end bit was like, we've seen this.
Yeah, no, but there was mind games between Oppenheimer and Downey Jr.'s character. I can't remember his name now in the movie. But
it's something starting with S.
But there was... Yeah, not Star.
It's not Snipes.
No. Anyway...
I'm gonna have a look. It's just going.
But yeah, it was mind games there. It was Yeah, it was who was the director of it?
Christopher Nolan.
Who wrote it? Because it was very well done the way they put it together.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a look because writer. Yeah, right. Christopher Nolan wrote it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So,
right, okay.
yeah, it was very well done.
Yeah, But
he likes playing a few mind games.
Yeah, like he always does. He does. Like I have a decent amount of his movies, but not a lot. Like I have, like The Prestige with Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, and Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
And I have Tenet with Robert Pattinson. That's apparently a very crazy, confusing mind trick movie. But then you also have things like Inception and Interstellar, where it's like...
I've seen Inception, I haven't seen Interstellar.
Yeah, like Inception is apparently really, like, bonkers for a movie like
I'm
that.
thinking of something else then. Inception, that's not with Will Smith and Margot Robbie. What's that called?
No, that's Focus.
Focus. What?
Yeah. No,
Maybe
Inception's with, I think it's with Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, right, yeah, maybe I haven't seen it.
But no, I do have most of his movies. I don't want to watch them, but I think it's... I also don't think that it's like... I mean, I still really like the movie. It's legit a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me.
Yeah.
And it's my 5th favourite movie of the year. But I think that there are things that... Like... I feel like that all the other movies above it and even below it, feel like that they should have ended the way that they've ended.
Yeah.
Which that one was just kind of like, I feel like that you could have cutted post-bomb. I mean, not post-bomb, but as soon as the bomb went off and then you had that whole scene of everyone going like, we did it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could just roll it there because we knew what it was building to. So I don't think that we need that other stuff because that other stuff just made it kind of, not boring, but longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just felt like that because most of that stuff we didn't really need to see again because we've already seen it at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Type of thing. So I just thought that the end was a little bit repeating itself at times, but that's the only thing that I felt was wrong with the movie. But other than that, I really liked it. So, no. So let's go on to the next thing, Dad, because we just finished this. Ahsoka. Now, this was the only thing other than Obi-Wan that I was anticipated for Star Wars. Because I wasn't...
You secretly love Star Wars, Jack.
Well, no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. I'm not... Okay, I'm not interested in the animated series. I think the animated series is where you get too much.
Yeah, maybe.
Where you get Bad Batch, you get Rebels, which this is a continuation of Rebels no matter what you think. But then you have...
Is it?
Yeah, because you have Sabine, you have bloody Hera.
Oh, what's the name of the green dude? No, the blue dude. What's his name? Yeah, I know who you mean.
Oh yeah, Thrawn.
Thrawn, that's him. Thrawn.
Yeah, you have so many characters from Rebels. This is like Rebels live action.
Yeah, yeah.
Which this is what I wish the Clone Wars was, which we see from the episode where you see Hayden Christensen again. It could have worked.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars stuff in live action could have worked.
Yeah, but they didn't want to do that.
But because you have people doing the contracts of 3 movies, then that's where you can't go like, well, we need to make this animated because the Clone Wars survived longer than episode 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so I think that's the thing because it's like you have, because there were even rumors going around before Ahsoka, I guess before the trailer came out and even after the trailer came out, that Ewan McGregor was going to have some scenes in Ahsoka.
Yeah, okay.
Which I thought that...
And did he?
Well, he didn't. It was all...
I don't know if I ended up watching it all or not.
Well, all the Clone Wars stuff we got was in that Anakin episode.
Yeah,
of like,
yeah.
I'm here to finish your training.
Yeah.
Which I actually don't mind Hayden Christensen as... I love Anakin. He's one of my favourite Jedis in Star Wars. But I don't mind Hayden Christensen as much as everyone else. Because he's like... Everyone whinges of how bad of an actor he is. And it's just like... They always go back to the Jake Lloyd thing. It's just like, guys, that's not their fault. That's bloody George Lucas's fault.
Nah, yeah.
Because George Lucas doesn't know how to... Because, like, even Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford would bloody rail on George Lucas saying, like, humans don't say stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe.
So, because George Lucas doesn't know how to get human emotion and actual words from humans out...
What do you mean? I disagree.
Yeah, but what people say that is the best Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And that's not... He had no involvement in that. He just produced it.
Yeah.
He didn't direct it or write or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, the best stuff we've got from him is nothing to do with George Lucas.
Anyway.
So, this proves to show you that the original Star Wars and even the prequels are the worst fucking things on the planet.
No, they're not. No, pretty good. I beg to differ.
I mean, yes, yeah. I prefer the sequel trilogy. So I think that this and Obi-Wan are the best modern prequel era Star Wars that we've gotten.
Yeah,
because I think this is what I've wanted out of the Clone Wars series.
Yeah.
And out of even out of the movies, how it's like. Now, to be fair, they did start off with 4, which I don't know why you would jump into the middle of a story, but
because they do.
Yeah, no, but I think this is the best prequel era Star Wars that we've gotten, with the better writing, the better acting, and better direction.
Yeah.
So, no thoughts, Dad?
Oh no, I thought it was a good show. But I like most Star Wars things. I'm not biased like you are.
Yeah, I like Star Wars, but I don't love it like everyone else does.
You secretly do. You just like telling everyone you don't.
Sure, boss. I have books, Star Wars books. But no, let's go into the next thing because this thing we might have a bit to say about. So we didn't review this. We wanted to review this a little earlier, but me and Dad did see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, which now by the trailers we liked the trailers, but we were more I guess versions of fans of the Bay ones than we are the animation and that sort of stuff. Like, we don't know if the terms themselves are like animated CGI, but an animated Turtles, like, they can be pretty good if done well. And also the animation style, something about the animation style kind of turns me off a little bit. Whether if it was the similarities to Spider-Verse and that sort of stuff. But I think that there is something about this that is the best out of all of the Ninja Turtles. Well, one of the best of all the Ninja Turtles movies. Considering the old ones, Rise, TMNT, the animated one, and Turtles Forever.
Yeah, look, this was good. I actually quite enjoyed this one.
Dudes, they got to go.
Yeah. It was, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Whether it's the best one...
I didn't say the best. I said one of the best.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I would put it, like...
Maybe it was also the way the animation was. Like, it's not so perfect.
This is very... I think if you liked the animation of this, I think you would like Into Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, because they're very... Similar.
Yeah, okay.
With the animation style. You might like this more because of the way that... Because the Spider-Verse movies go more big scale. They're more multiverse stories, where this one's more condensed and kind of grounded.
Yeah.
But I think that's what I liked about this one, is that it's like it felt different, but also I think that the thing that did turn me off a little bit, even then, I didn't even mind the way that they play it towards the end, was I guess that April kind of made me go like, this is not a good version, but a different version than what we've seen from Megan Fox, what we've seen from Paige Turco, from Judith Hogue, from Sarah Michelle Gellar, what was seen out of these different actresses that have played April, and the writing of April was very different.
Yeah, it was.
And I wasn't a big fan of the vomiting stuff.
When she got nervous.
Like, that, to me, was really bizarre. I was like, that's not April at all.
No, but it was just... Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind the whole thing of making her black, because new cartoons did that. I'm fine with that, but it's just the personality. Even that and Rise, that was the first series that kind of changed that direction to make her black. These two versions are my least, I guess, almost least favourite versions of April, because they're very different to what we see April in the past. Because, like, even though that every version of April is different, they all have the essence of what April is. Whether she's a news reporter or she's a scientist.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
she still has that kind of thing of like, you get that whole thing of like, she meets the Turtles, but she meets the Turtles in kind of a accident way in this.
Yeah, it is accidental. Yeah.
Where the other ones was just more like, we're trying to save her, and we need to protect her. Like the 1990 movie, like the 1990 movie, she legit gets bloody mugged in the bloody train station. Then Raphael needs to go save her and take her back to the den.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the same thing with the 2014 movie. They're holding hostages, and they have April there, and they're throwing these foot soldiers into trains and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very much like, even though that's accident, it's like April's very much like, I need to get these vigilantes, or the Turtles are like, we need to save her and get her away from these criminals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which this one's very much like, let's throw a ninja star at her bike helmet. Which is like,
what? Yeah.
Why would you throw a ninja star anyway?
Well, because they're ninjas.
I get that, but it's like, they're doing stupid shit. They're doing the bloody, like, fruit ninja.
Yeah.
From the friggin' watermelon bloody sauce with a sword.
I haven't seen that.
It's like, what the frick?
Oh, well. All good.
It's like, no teenagers do that.
Oh, they do.
It's nothing, like, there's nothing in this movie that made me outright angry, but there are some things I'm just like, I wish that things played out differently, and the
way that that's going to be the same in any movie that you watch, mate. Some things are going to be good, and then you're going to look and go, I don't know why they did it that way. But anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. But also, Turtles is one of the few series that we watch a bunch of different versions of.
Yeah, that's true.
And we also have...
It's like the cinematic universe.
Well, but it's also like, Marvel is the same storyline, and they're all part of the same universe, but the whole thing with Turtles, they're different versions, but they still have essence of the characters of what makes those characters the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Which this one's like, let's make... I don't mind the whole thing of making April black, that's fine, because Rise did that as well. But those two, Rise and Mutant Mayhem April, are very different to what April was ever.
Yeah, yeah.
And it felt like after the 2012 series, there's been this thing to make April more of a teenager or a kid. Whether if it's the 2012 series, the Rise series, or Mutant Mayhem. I wish we could get that version of April that's older than the Turtles, because that's what I liked about April and Casey, is that they're like, how do I put it? It's like almost like how the Turtles are R2-D2 and C-3PO, and April and Casey are like Luke Skywalker. How they're showing the Turtles their world.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they've experienced more, where it's like now they're along the journey with the Turtles, so it's like you don't really get to know much.
Yeah, yeah. True.
So, but I think that this was a really good movie, though. I am going to... Actually, I might as well do this, because this is not the first time that we'll do this in the episode. Even though that we have one more review to go. Now, I want to give you my ranking of the Turtles movies and see if you agree with it. Dad? I want to see if you agree with my ranking of the Turtles movies. Because I think... Well, it's just that you weren't talking, and I was like, oh...
I was waiting for you to rank it, dude.
Oh. So one of these you haven't seen, so you won't really have anything to say. But number 10, I have Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. That's in 10th place. And then 9th place, I have Secret of the Ooze. And this ranking can easily change when it comes to these, to some of these. Then 8 is 1990.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you couldn't add too low, because that's where you really see that they were starting to push the boundaries of live action movies back then. Mm-hmm. Number 7 is Turtles 3. Number 6 is TMNT 2007. Number 5 is Turtles Forever. Number 4 is Mutant Mayhem. Number 3 is Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 2 is TMNT 2014. And then number 1 is Out of the Shadows.
I don't think I've seen the Batman versus Turtles.
No, you haven't seen that or Rise.
No.
So, but I think other than that, you've seen all of them. And do you have a different ranking or?
No, not really. No.
So you don't have a different ranking?
No, because I think I do agree with it. I think it's all. What do you have as number one again?
Out of the Shadows.
Out of the Shadows. That was the first one. That was the 24.
No, the second one.
Second one.
But those two, to be honest, I can easily switch them. Those ones go back and forth on me.
I do like the live action ones. Like I'm not as I've said before, I'm not a big animation person. I don't. But yeah, I mean, I like the live action ones. This one was good. Mutant Mayhem. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
But the voice actors they had were really good.
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, because they were actual teenagers.
Yeah, but even like with Bebop and
Seth Rogen
Rocksteady,
and John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good. You know.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jackie Chan the Splinter. If you ever told me in a world that Jackie Chan was gonna be the rat that lives in the sewer teaching these bloody kids martial arts, I would have been like, you're crazy. Because I did a live action fan casting way before the trailers came out for this movie, and I kid you not, the person I wanted to play a Splinter for a live action movie was Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And the fact that they brought him in for this one, I was like, yes, that's what I wanted. But yeah, no, I was very excited to see Jackie Chan in the Turtles movie.
Yeah, no, it was good.
But no, let's get to the last one, Dad. We have a bit to talk about with this. Hot Potatoes, the story of the Wiggles. This is a really good documentary. I actually really like this, and I think that there's something about this documentary that we haven't even learned. Like, we knew some stuff about, we knew about the whole teachers aspect.
Early childhood, mate.
Yeah.
Doing what you did.
Exactly.
Well, what you're doing.
Now we just need to hand my resume to the Wiggles. Yeah. That. Keep on wiggling. But no, and then we knew that bit. We knew the whole thing about them taking some Cockroaches songs and adapting them to Wiggle songs. Well, I knew that anyway, and there was some stuff I knew. I knew about Jeff doing Henry and Anthony doing Captain Feathersword.
You did Dorothy.
Murray.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Murray was Dorothy for a short while there. And then Anthony was apparently also Wags for a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So Greg wasn't?
Yeah, no, I think they would always have to have Greg there because they even mentioned in interviews that Greg is the sound of the original Wiggles.
Yeah.
The other ones, you can kind of go like, oh, he's an original Wiggle, but Greg is the voice of every song. Like, he's the voice of those Wiggles.
Yeah.
So they had to kind of keep him on stage for all that. But then you had things like they delve into the whole Sam thing. That was something to see.
Sam just had a contract. That he was just a contracted employee.
Exactly, and I mentioned that to Mum, and she was like, "That still doesn't mean anything."
But they didn't. Well, no, it does. It means everything. But
no,
the way they didn't tell him that he.
Well, yeah, and that's what what we were trying to talk about. It's like it doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that you treat him like shit.
That's right. Yeah.
So, which I wasn't saying that they did treat him like shit. I just was saying that that's the way that they talked about in the documentary.
Oh, look, unfortunately, it's what happens with employers, mate.
Exactly. So it's like, you have, but the 9/11 thing, they mention stuff that they've already kind of talked about in, like, On the Road with the Wiggles.
What they do for 9/11?
So the 9/11 thing, they had they talked about this whole thing of, you really need to watch this, Dad, because this is a fascinating thing. So apparently, they had this firefighter who died in the attack.
Mm-hmm.
because he was trying to get people out of the building, and the building blade collapsed on him.
Yep.
Pretty much how in Civil War, how a building fell on that kid.
Yeah.
Very much like that, and he said something like, or maybe it was his wife. I think his wife and a bunch of other people sent letters to the Wiggles Special Good going like, if there's a time, it's now, Wiggles.
Yeah.
Because they legit turned on the TV and they just saw the bloody Twin Towers collapse.
Yeah.
So it was like, New York has just been attacked. Do they even want us to go at this point?
Yeah.
So, and then everyone was like, yes, we want you here. You guys will, like, get us out of this darkness that we're in.
Yep.
And so this mother spent, like, hours after the show just talking to the Wiggles about the incident and her husband.
Yeah, right.
So, there was stuff on there that was like, this is also what I liked about the documentary. Even though, and I said this in my review, even though that in the, like, when you're just watching the show or even a tape, like, they're normal happy-go-lucky Wiggles. But behind closed doors, everything is not a good place.
Yeah, right.
Like, Anthony had mental health issues for a while.
Yep.
So he actually has a book that I want to get called How I Got My Wiggle Back that deals with his mental health.
Yep.
And how it's like he just felt sad all the time, and you even see clips in this documentary where they would film promos, and then as soon as they get the promo, he would go back to crying.
Yeah, right.
So the Wiggles felt so hopeless because they would just go like, what is going on with you? So
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, so then when he opened up and talked about it on the news, they were like, well, now I think we know how we can help him.
Yeah.
So that's why nowadays he's actually fine.
Yeah.
But then they actually delve more into like a more detailed version of that whole thing of Greg's incident of how the blood would mainly go to his head rather than all of his body, because that's how he got replaced with Sam.
Yeah.
Was that incident?
They heart issues.
Yeah, they go into more of that, and then they also talk more about the whole thing of him collapsing on stage when they did the OG show.
Yep.
They talk about that, and they talk a lot about that, and they also talk about how they recruited Paul Paddock.
Yep.
As Captain Fairsword, because he was doing a lot of stage shows at that point. And then him and Anthony, I think, met each other in a restaurant, and then he somehow became Captain Fairsword from then.
Yeah, right.
So there was a lot of stuff on there that I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on there that nobody knows.
Well, exactly. And I actually liked surprisingly, I actually liked watching it and how interesting this story is, from how they talked about how it started with 4 people that are just real good friends, and how this thing just kind of happened organically.
Yeah.
And how now it used to be the 4 Wiggles, and now it went on to the 8 Wiggles.
Yeah, yeah.
And how it was like, I mean, if we thought about more when we started, we had the diverse cast.
Yeah.
How we had 2 males and 2 women, but because it happened so organically, it happened to be the 4 blokes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that was really interesting to hear in this. So, Dad, here's your challenge. What is your top? We'll go with top 5 favorite Wiggles videos.
I couldn't tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dodge.
Oh, I couldn't tell you, mate.
Oh, come
I
on.
wouldn't even know the name of half of them. Oh, Spaghetti Western.
Spaghetti Western is definitely
What's
up.
the one swim like a fish?
Oh, Wiggle Bay.
Wiggle Bay.
Come on, everybody, let's
What's that
dance.
animated
Swim
one?
like a fish. Space Dancing.
Yep. And they're the ones that you mainly watched. I don't know. Yeah.
Crocodile Hunter.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, yeah.
Crocodile Hunter.
That was probably the best.
Action Man.
Um,
That is behind the Wiggles movie for me.
yeah, well, that's not even going to rank anywhere with me. There you go. I'll give you 4 because that's the only 4 I know.
Woohoo Wiggly Gremlins.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that
Lights,
vaguely.
camera, action. Welcome
Yeah.
to our TV
So,
show.
Yeah. But they're about the only 4 they've ever made, isn't it? Just saying.
I mean, if we're not counting the movie and documentary, then my... hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. 1, 2... 1, 2... That's weird. So Spaghetti Western is in my top 10, but I realise that it's not in my top 5. Number 1 is obviously Wiggly Safari. 2 is Space Dancing, because I just watched that recently, and God, that's a banger.
I wouldn't admit to watching anything.
And then number 3 is Wiggle Gremlins. Yeah, and then number 4 is Wiggle Bay, and then number 5 is Racing to the Rainbow.
Cool.
Now, what about your songs?
Oh, mate, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
No.
What? Dad. You're breaking my heart. Oh, God dang it. All right. So, guys, thank you for joining us for the Jack Films podcast. I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm happy that it's back.
Yep.
That's what I wanted. Thomas? That's what I was going like. That was like, click it. But no, I'm happy that it's back. Yep.
Yep.
Good job. And then hopefully we will do more episodes regularly. I don't know what we're going to do about what we're going to do for the Christmas episode. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll have to try and do something.
Because this is for the October, so we would still have 2 months to go till the end of the year. 2 more episodes. Which I'm happy to figure out what to talk about with that. So, next time we'll be talking about the Marvels. Five Nights at Freddy's. If we see that. So Five Nights at Freddy's, the Marvels. I'm sure that there's some other stuff coming out before the end of the year, and then the end of the year you'll have we'll have Wonka and Aquaman and stuff for you guys. Really excited that we're getting back into it. So guys,
yep,
we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.